On three. 1, 2, 3.
Win!
The alley-oop.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We have a marquee matchup for you here at Marcus Pavilion. My name is Scott Gladstone. So excited to have you along for the ride as the number 3 team in the country, the St. Martin Saints, take on the undefeated in conference play Montana State Billings Yellow Jackets. It is going to be a good one for Marcus Pavilion. We have lots of fans on deck. It is an annual Pack the Pavilion event. Oh, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. We had a great women's game to start off the evening, and now we are about to have a men's event that'll follow this one up that, man, I'm hoping it is everything that we drew it up to be because these are really good squads. We'll send you down for the starting lineup. We'll be right back on the other side of the starting lineup.
For the Yellow Jackets. A 6'4" junior, number 2, Jalen Todd. A 6'7" senior, number 3, Daniel Moody. A 6'7" senior, number 5, Stephen Richardson. A 6' junior, number 11, Bryce Whitaker. And a 6'7" senior, number 12, Ron Richmond. Head coaches Luke Finley, assistant coach Bruce Gralaska.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Your starting lineups presented by Forelli's Pizza. For the MSU Billings Yellow Jackets, it's Jalen Todd, Daniel Moody, Stephen Richardson, Bryce Whitaker, and Zeron Richmond. Lots of storylines to talk about. Just with that starting 5, we'll see famous left hand and Emmanuel Jonico off the bench quickly, I'm sure, for the St. Martin Saints. It's Caden Hansen, Nathaniel Stokes, Kyle Greeley, Jaden Nielsen-Skinner, and Shaquem Al-Sindar. Speaking of, it's Shaquem up there for the tip. One by the Yellow Jackets, repping black here, and it'll be Bryce Whitaker to take it up the floor. Once again, those were your starting lineups brought to you by Forelli's Pizza. Great people make great pizza. Saints come out in the zone. This is going to be a good one. Oh, God dang it, I've been salivating all week waiting for it. Two of the best teams in the West going at it in front of a raucous crowd here at Marcus Pavilion. Great find down under, missed shot, rebound goes to the big man, Shaquem Al-Sindar, who has it swatted away, but it's out off of him. Daniel Moody, the reigning GNAC Player of the Week, originally from Tucson, Arizona, a transfer out of the University of Texas Permian Basin. Out of this starting lineup, there are 3 different players that did not appear last year. Kyle Greeley starts off the scoring, a mid-range jumper. What's new for the man from Salem, Oregon? Daniel Moody, Bryce Whitaker, and Zeron Richmond did not appear last year in this contest at Marcus Pavilion between these two. That was a blowout win for St. Martin's. Reverse layup is missed. Offensive rebound, maybe a chance there, but it's cleaned up in the end, as this is an awkward shot, but then outside Kyle Greeley nearly made it, and the offensive rebound goes to Caden Hansen down under. He gets it out to Skinny. The Saints will slow it up. Looking down low to Shaquem. Now out. Shaquem has a very clear size advantage on Daniel Moody. Both height and weight. Floater left it short. Now Tott's going to have the fast break. 2-on-1. Stephen Richardson misses the shot. It goes out, and it will be Saints ball. Whew. I'm already out of breath. And we are a minute and 36 seconds into this game. The number 3 team in the country here. Every single week, they're going to get the best punch, but this punch is going to come from a boxer that is vying for a title themselves. As MSUB will watch that one go off back iron. Rebound goes to Zeron Richmond. Working it around the horn. Saints again in that 3-2 zone. They got elevated wings out there. It's they don't try and fake what they're going to do. They will come at you. They will show you that. Three-pointer on the way and down. Lead goes to Billings off of the Jalen Tott three-pointer. His brother, Jawan Tott, sits on the bench. Jalen Tott has become a better player throughout his career. The point guard and facilitating what Aaron Landon describes as a much improved offense, as that pass was just not there for Shaquem Alcindor. It goes out of bounds on the Saints baseline. No subs yet. Both these teams incredibly deep. I already mentioned for Billings, famous left hand, a newcomer out of the United Tribes Technical College. He's from just down the road of Billings, the Crow Agency in South Central Montana. Emmanuel Ajanaku, who came to the Yellow Jackets from Gillette College in Wyoming. Before that, he was all the way in Lagos, Nigeria. Three-pointer on the way, down the hatch from Bryce Whitaker, a transfer out of the University of San Francisco. Before that, he was at Lamar Community College. Saints and the Yellow Jackets are both teams built from transfers, built from guys that have gotten second chances. Ball being rotated around. Caden Hansen gets to Stokes. Stokes for three, misses it. Fighting for the rebound with Shaquem, but it goes to Zeron Richmond. Richmond is a guy that came out of high school straight to Billings, Montana. Well, he was in Billings, Montana already. He was a Skyview Falcon before committing to the University of Montana. Was a phenomenal player his freshman season. And then injuries took away his next few seasons. He is finally back healthy on the court, listed as a senior. I don't know how many years of eligibility he has. I'm sure he has 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 9. There was a player at the University of Miami, a football player, that got his 9th year of eligibility. Maybe he doesn't have that many years remaining, but it might feel like that. So I'm sure he has some ball left in him. Speaking of, that pass was Richmond down to Daniel Moody, who is the reigning GNAC Player of the Week. Now a size advantage, finding Tyke Thompson under the bucket, and a layup for Tyke Thompson. Saints have cut it to 2 with 16 to go here in half number 1. Our first sub of the game is Tyke Thompson. Three-pointer on the way, off back iron. Rebound will eventually go to Thompson after Hansen and Skinny fight for it. Jaden Nielsen Skinner, I'll refer to him as Skinny, just to abbreviate myself and give myself a chance to take off some syllables. Tott all the way to the bucket. What a finish from the Dallas native. (8-4) early going. Tyke Thompson back with it. Three-pointer on the way from KG, and it's down the hatch. It's an 8-7 game. Woo-hoo-hoo. We're already starting good here. We are already starting good. Another sub to the scorer's table for the Saints. It's Miles Samuels. We talked to him postgame on Saturday after the Saints blew out Western Oregon University. Working it around the horn. Ends up going to Richardson. A foul will be called under the basket. As we have a media timeout, Emmanuel Ajanaku checks in for the Montana State Billings Yellow Jackets, and we check out for our first media timeout. Just under 15 minutes to go. It'll be Billings ball under the basket. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network.
CEO Jeff Kennedy and Marcus Pavilion. Twinstar Credit Union is a local, regional, not-for-profit credit union headquartered right here in Racine. With a name on the court and nearly 100 employees in the stands this evening, Twinstar played an instrumental role in the Saints' success. We are thankful for the way they have honored and supported the students, staff, and faculty of St. Martin's University for more than 30 years. Let's give all our friends at Twinstar a big round of applause. Thank you.
Welcome back. Just under 15 minutes to go here. Half number one, 1-point game. Inbound goes to Emmanuel Ajanaku as he checks into the game. Got to congratulate him on his wedding that he had just over the weekend. Emmanuel Ajanaku getting married in the maybe the one off day you have during basketball season. Might as well take advantage of it, I guess. So congrats to him and Lauren, his bride. Speaking of, we have a different Lauren joining us on the broadcast. It's Lauren Morris, who is fresh off of a narrow loss to Western Washington. It was a thriller in game number one. Miles Samuels misses a three. Caden Hansen working on the glass and gets the putback. Saints go up by one. Lauren, let's start it off. It's Pack the Pav night. One of the best crowds you're going to get all season as the ball goes out of bounds. What sort of a difference does having a crowd, having a raucous crowd that's cheering for you, make in close games, big games like this?
I mean, it just kind of just gives you more confidence. You know, it just gives you like more confidence than you've probably ever felt, right? You know, especially because when there's so many eyes and there's so many, you know, fans just cheering for you and, you know, just cheering and hoping that ball goes in, right? So we can just get more points. It really does. It gives you all the confidence in the world, you know, to knock down those shots, especially in clutch moments.
Kyle Greeley, speaking of, he's going to try one. Misses it. Ajanaku, the rebound. And this is the other Tot brother, Jawan Tot, bringing it down. Being guarded by Skinny, poked away for a second. Now Hansen pokes it away. Hansen with Jalen Tot right behind him. Nearly dunks it, but goes for the highest percentage shot, just gently setting it in the basket. That ball's kicked by Caden Hansen. Hansen, the thing that head coach Aaron Landon has been really impressed with him, despite being listed at 6'2", which maybe that's even generous. Out there amongst the Giants, he looks even shorter. But he is one of the most efficient rebounders on the team, Caden Hansen, in his redshirt freshman season. Both Top brothers out on the floor, which I don't think I saw once last year when I called the Billings St. Martin's game. And now the ball to Benny Fungula. And it's lost by Ajanaku under the basket. Kyle Greeley looking up. Caden Hansen wide open for three. Splashes it down. There's a first big eruption from the St. Martin's faithful here at Pack the Pav. 14-8. Saints in front. Tot with it. Tot pulls up. Jawan Tot makes the long two. 14-10 the scoreline. Tyke Thompson sets a screen. Jawan Tot almost sold a good foul. Now he's stuck under the basket guarding Tyke Thompson. Zeron Richmond is ready to help as Tyke Thompson nearly gets pushed out and then kicks it to Skinny. Skinny to Samuels. Samuels wide open. Couldn't get it to go. Battling under the basket as there was nearly a football tackle a couple different times over. Kyle Greeley got boxed out to the three-point line, and they're calling it on the Yellow Jackets. Number 3, Daniel Moody. for number 4, Benny Fungula. Skinny will inbound under the basket, 14-10 here, 12:23 to go. Nobody really guarding the inbounder. Ty Thompson sets a screen. On the floor now is Kai Kuba. Three-pointer in and out. Offensive rebound by Ty Thompson, who just goes over the top of Fungula. Now back to basket, fade away. Can't get the touch on it. Saints work for another offensive rebound. Saints have got the lead here, just outworking the Yellow Jackets.
No, I remember last week when they played, I remember saying that the rebounding battle was going to be a really big part of this game for them,
shot.
you know?
Yeah, and that's what Aaron Landon, I talked to him pregame, ball is out of bounds. They say it's Saints ball. And they do say it is Yellow Jackets ball. I talked to Aaron Landon pregame, he said the exact thing. He said he wants to win the rebounding battle. He's nervous because this is a very big, physical, well-coached team. We will take a quick break. 11:48 to go, 14-10, Saints lead. Welcome back. It is 14-10. Scott Gladstone and Lauren Morris with you here, bringing you St. Martin's basketball. It is the number 3 team in the country, taking on MSU Billings. This is a contest that's circled for both teams all year, as a foul is called there. That's a ticky-tack time to call one. I didn't see much contact, but, good on the ref for calling it right in front of the student section. I don't know if I would.
I personally would not.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't. Especially because they're really close. They're very close.
Yeah. It's right on you. That's one of the fun things about this Marcus Pavilion here, is it is a very intimate setting. Three-pointer on the way from Billings, in and out. Offensive rebound goes to Jawan Tot. I'll do my best to clarify which Tot brother it is when I can. Ball nearly ripped away. Then Jawan Tot with some contact, misses a shot. Rebound, Marcel Stevens. He'll dribble it down himself. Guarded by Fungala. Now Samuels, he's guarded closely by Fungala. We saw a tic-tac foul called the other way, nothing there. Samuels working it all himself, and it just goes long. Rebound goes to Kai Kuba. Kuba is a transfer from Montana Western in Dillon, Montana. Another graduate of Skyview High School. Multiple Skyview Falcons on this MSUB squad. Moody under to Kuba, rejected. He gets it back, and he makes the second chance. Ty Thompson with the original send back. Under the basket, a bullet pass, just not grabbed by Miles Samuels, and Jalen Tot will check in for his brother Jawan. I'm looking down at the bench right now, and I'm looking all over, and I don't see famous left hand anywhere. I don't see number 0 out there. And this was a surprise scratch for me. Like I said, I talked to Aaron Landon before the game, and he had fully planned for famous left hand to be here. But there is no 0 on the bench. There's no 0 on the floor. So, unfortunately, a guy who I was excited to talk about is not available for MSUB, apparently. Famous left hand averages 12.8 points per game, or excuse me, 11.4 points per game for this MSUB squad. That's a big absent player to have in a big game like this. Tyke Thompson can't get the 3 to go. 3 different black jerseys are fighting for it. In the end, it's won by Cuba. 14-14 the scoreline. Jalen Tott with it. Tyke Thompson with the takeaway. Gets it to Marcel Stevens. Nobody guards him as he just slices right to the bucket and lays it in. 16-14 the scoreline. Out to the corner. Stepped out. That's going to be a turnover on Fungula. Fungula is a transfer, 2-time transfer. Or no, 1-time transfer, but he did transfer countries first, as he is originally from Stockholm, Sweden. Went to a Division II school in Colorado Springs, Colorado, UCCS, and before transferring here. Sweden, not necessarily the hotbed of basketball, but I believe there actually is a former St. Martin's player that's playing in Sweden right now. He might be watching. It is Brett Reed out there. I know Aaron Landon says he stays up and watches a lot of the game. Don't know what time it is in Sweden, but it's late. 3-pointer on the way. Missed it. Right to Moody, who thought about a 3. Then he gets it to Ajanaku. Ajanaku throws it high, but Fungula is able to get it. A stutter step, nearly traveled or double dribbled there. Gets it to Cuba. Single digits on the shot clock. Moody, guarded by Thompson. High, tried to go off glass, and it is not down. Tyke Thompson has the ball taken away. Saints have had an uncharacteristic amount of turnovers today.
I think that might have a lot to do just, with MSUB speeding them up. So it seems like the MSUB team right now likes to play at a pretty, fast tempo pace. And so I don't really think that's something our Saints are used to doing all the time.
Saints get another turnover. Shaquem Alcindor just delivered a blow to his teammate there on accident when they were both going for the ball. As this ball is pawed away, it'll be Saints ball on the near sideline. Luckily, it looks like Marcel Stevens and Shaquem are both okay. It's a 2-point lead for St. Martin's University, under 8 to go in the first half. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network live from Lacey, Washington. Welcome back here. It's 7:52 to go in the first half. This is a first doubleheader we've done in a while, so I have to I said quarters, and I was down. I was saying quarters a lot, and now I got to,
Yeah, you got to change it to halves.
Yeah, you got to switch it up. Kyle Greeley, long shot, missed. Rebound goes to the Yellow Jackets. Kuba with it, now to Moody. Moody had a double-double in both games last week. That ball's poked away. It will go to the Saints. Billings doesn't like it. The student section loves it. It's a fun one.
Oh, you can definitely see the baseball players over there really getting into it.
Listen, I think last year Pack the Pav, the baseball team, was on the road because it was in mid-February.
Yeah.
It's the biggest team. Well, track and field might be a little bit bigger, but of course, both men and women's track and field. You only get just men on the baseball team, at least the St. Martins, and they come out and support loud. Back to basket, Zorana Richmond tries to get it, missed shot, rebound, Tyke Thompson. Skinny for three. Skinny, a big three-pointer. That's a big bucket to go as both sides have been held scoreless for a while. 3 minutes without a bucket for MSUB. The Saints were over 2. Three-pointer on the other side. Moody can't make it. Fight for the rebound. Again, we talk about offensive rebounds, rebounding being a difference maker in this game, and this time it's a difference of 3 points as Todd splashes the triple.
Well, I just think especially because, MSUB, I think they're really, both men's and women, they're known for just sending so many people into the paint. So, you just want to make sure you get a body on somebody, especially because, in a close game like this, possessions count. So,
if we talk about the combined efforts of both men's and women's teams, you mentioned the women's team. For MSUB, they are 6-0 in the conference, as are the men. Three-pointer on the way, back iron, rebound Kuba. Both sides right now, there's got to be a little competition between the two of them to see who's going to slip up first in conference play. I've got to check and see who MSUB is playing tonight, the women's side. Three-pointer on the way, missed, rebound, Tyke Thompson. MSUB women are not playing tonight. Three-pointer on the way, missed. Nate Stokes fighting for the rebound. Ooh, that looked like it could have gone off the foot of Richmond, but they're going to say it touched
a little questionable.
Stokes. Yeah.
little questionable.
You're familiar with the questioning the refs. Is that first game that you guys were playing in had a handful of them, but part of the art of being a basketball player is learning how to know when to turn the other way.
Yes. But in all honesty, I think it might have just maybe scraped his knee brace just slightly.
Scraped the knee brace. It wasn't even him that touched it.
No.
The knee brace.
Yes. It was the equipment that's on him.
We have one final from today as Stevens looked like he was grabbed there after he got a little poke on it. Ball rotated around. Great movement. Stevenson for 3, and it's missed. Stephen Richardson, combined his first and his last name. Marcus Linker on the floor for the first time. This is Stevens. Skinny almost had it taken away. They're going to call a foul on Stephen Richardson. The two main bullet points when I talked to head coach Aaron Landon was, one, this is a really well-coached team. Mick Durham, last year the head coach who retired at the end of the season. He was voted GNAC Coach of the Year as the Yellow Jackets came in second. Luke Fennelly has now taken over. He was the assistant last year, and head coach Aaron Landon cannot say enough about both Mick Durham and and Luke Fennelly. But he also said Stephen Richardson is a guy we highlight as a phenomenal player and a huge part of this squad. That shot's going to miss, and Jay Sean Moore will find his own rebound after that one hung up there for a while, and he makes 2 on the second chance. Stephen Richardson averages just 6.4 points. It's a wide open layup by Moody there. But his 3 rebounds, just the grit that he plays with is something that Aaron Landon loves to see. Also, Aaron Landon, a guy from the Sacramento area, loves to give love to the other Sacramento area guys like Stephen Richardson. Three-pointer on the way. Lead goes to the Yellow Jackets as Bryce Whitaker sends it down. First lead in a while for the Yellow Jackets. Their largest lead is 4 points. The Saints have led by 6. Oh, Marcel Stevens was wide open under the basket. He'll try it for 3, and it goes in and out. The Saints, from what we saw against Western Oregon on Saturday night where everything was falling, they're not making some shots that they usually do from behind the arc. Steal by Stevens. What a great adjustment to grab that one. Now he'll bring it up the floor himself, get it out to Jayshawn Moore, who nearly loses his feet. Oh, Richardson just about tackled Jayshawn Moore from behind. Nothing called. The Saints faithful didn't let it go unnoticed.
I think they might be just letting them play a little bit right now. So.
Which, you know, for those of you listening to the NNU St. Martin's game, as Skinny tries a long 3, missed, rebound Richardson. We're all in favor of letting them play as long as they call it even both ways, and we're here for it. This is, deeper we get into the season, the more physical and more fun it is when players are allowed to get physical without it getting out of control. Three-pointer on the way. That would have been big to hit. Instead, it's missed, and a great rebound by Jayshawn Moore, who is a big, but he can take the ball himself. Stokes tries for 3. Stokes needed it, and he got it. Timeout, Luke Fennelly and the Yellow Jackets. This one has gone back and forth, and if it's anything like the first one, it's going to leave us right till the end, because neither of these teams, I don't think, is going to let it get out of hand.
No. I don't think either team is going to let up. So I think there might be like a 2-point margin. You know, one might be up and then another might be up. So I definitely think it's going to come to the very, very end for sure.
Both of these squads, as we'll just stay with you through the timeout here, both of these squads, they've had a continual rivalry throughout the past 2 seasons especially. We talked about the reigning GNAC Player of the Year in Carrington Wiggins, who graduated from MSUB, no longer a part of this team. And the MSUB squad, we don't quite know if they're better yet, but they're playing just as good at least. And they're finding different ways, finding different people to score, finding different ways to score. And this St. Martin squad, I mean, 2-time defending regular season champs, playing with the target on their back. It's just continually so hard to do that. But both these teams, it's a rivalry, despite not being very geographically close or whatever. It's a rivalry just because both these teams want a trophy. MSUB is sick of the last 2 years when St. Martin's has taken it away from them.
Yeah. Well, and especially, you know, because I mean, being 6-0 in conference, I mean that's not easy, you know. So, you know, I know their current head coach, you know, inheriting such a strong program and just keeping it going, you know, from here on out. I know it's definitely, definitely like a really good look for their program, but also, you know, I know MSUB really wants to come up with that trophy at the very end of this regular season.
Back here, 2:24 to go. Stephen Richardson with it. Nice backdoor cut. Oh my goodness, Skinny with the rejection from behind. Wow. Kyle Greeley on the floor, out to Hansen. Hansen for 3. What a turn of events. It went from a wide open layup. Skinny came out of nowhere to come back and not give up on the play and reject it. And Hansen on the other end gives the Saints a 5-point lead. Tot with it, he falls to his knees. They're gonna call a foul. For the most part, they're letting him play. Every once in a while, I feel like just when the refs feel like they haven't called something in a while, you gotta make sure that both coaches know, hey, we still will call fouls. And that was, I think, a situation after Tot hits the deck. They blow the whistle there. Listen, and somebody's got to make up for the end of that, the game that you finished. It was the time when you most wanted a foul call, and there wasn't one. Sorry, I'm still getting over it. I hope you can get over it quicker than I can, even though you played in it. Long three attempted. Wow, that would have been something. Hansen, great rebound. And they're going to call a foul on Jayshawn Moore for boxing out. And see, that's where you get frustrated, because you think about what are you supposed to do? The ball's in the air. You're allowed to still box somebody out, but they dinged Moore for that one. Right now, Aaron Landon is exasperated in a sense, kind of pleading his case there. He's going to earn another possession for the Yellow Jackets. Whitaker to the bucket, and as has been the theme with this possession, we have a foul called on the floor. Whitaker will shoot 2 at the line. Whitaker on the season, not a big scorer. He is just 7 of 11 from the free throw line. That's 636, and he missed that one. Whitaker, I'm assuming he's the guy that filled into a starting role with famous left hand being out. Left hand has started 12 of 14 games this season that he's played in. Whitaker has come off the bench all but 4 times, and he misses both. Whitaker, another California kid on this MSUB roster, as he is from LA. Skinny, off of his leg and out of bounds. I want to make sure that you stick around for the halftime performance on the court. We had it during the women's game as well. You were in the locker room, so you didn't get to see it, Lauren, but it was great. A lot of energy in the building as Todd steps back for 3. Wow! What a shot from Jalen Todd. Brought up by the Saints. We'll talk about halftime in a moment, but with under a minute left, I don't want to take my eyes off the court as Hansen juggled it from the elbow in an out rebound, offensive by Jayshawn Moore. Did a reset of the shot clock. Difference is 8 seconds between game and shot. Saints up by 2. They're going to hold, bleed it down. And now Skinny to the bucket, out to the corner. Moore, they said he stepped out. Fennelly was right on top of it, as was the ref. 12.2 to go. Last possession of the half, most likely, as the Yellow Jackets will have a chance to take the lead, or at least tie it going into the locker room. Top brings it up, under 10 to go. Guarded by Skinny. It'll be a 3-pointer attempted at the buzzer, missed it. Rebound Hansen. St. Martin's goes into the locker room with the lead. Like I was saying, at halftime we have the Pacific Islanders Club and Huio, Hawaii. Gotta make sure I get that pronunciation spot on. I think I nailed it, but nobody call me too close on that one. Both the Pacific Islanders and the Huio Hawaii Club are comprised of students from the Pacific Islands, namely Polynesia, Melanesia, Micronesia, Hawaii, and the greater continental U.S. They are having a performance here at halftime. They performed at halftime of the women's game. It was a lot of fun. We're going to send it to courtside now. Let you enjoy that. We'll see you on the other side of the halftime break. It's 27-25 at the break. St. Martin's leads.
The greater St. Martin's community on their rich and beautiful history, culture, and tradition. Tonight we showcase that through 2 performances at the event against halftime. To see more of their beautiful performances and learn more about their rich tradition and practices, be sure to attend the upcoming legacy events in April. The Who We Know Hawaii logo will be on April 6th, and the Pacific Islands Club Pacifica Night will be on April 11th. You don't want to miss it. Let's give it up to the members of the Pacific Islands Club and Hawaii.
negative.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 20 minutes to go. We're just about to start half number 2 here. Scott Gladson and Lauren Morris with you. Last Saturday we celebrated. We kind of had our MLK Day celebrations, celebrated the life and legacy and the civil rights fighting for that Martin Luther King Jr. had. Today is Pack the Pav, and at halftime we got to focus the spotlight on probably 2 of our most prominent clubs on campus that just did the performance. Hopefully you stuck around for that. First of all, it's just really cool because in general, when we take a chance to zoom out, it's like that's a lot of what college is about, is getting, one, having your affinity group of like who do you associate with and who gets you, but at the same time, at a place like St. Martin's, you're exposed to a lot of different new cultures, new traditions, new people, and seeing things like that you don't get to see often, right?
Yeah, for sure. It was so beautiful. I mean, they just, like, we have, this big thing at the end of the year called, the luau, and they put together something like that, but just times 10, because there's so many more dancers. So it was just so nice to see, just all the different, people here that we have here at St. Martin's and have it on display like this, especially at such a packed house tonight.
Well, and it's, you don't, I think throughout the season we've just continually, as an athletic department, tried to intersect basketball with the rest of the school, and I think tonight in general, we got taco trucks and burger trucks outside. We got things happening at a lot of the student sections in red, and we just had the incredible halftime performance, and it's, basketball is fun, but, it's also a college and things are happening, so it's great to see that. The basketball, maybe we should talk about that.
just a little bit.
So basketball happened in the first half.
Bit.
You're looking at the stat sheet right now. What stuck out to you, Lauren?
Just the turnovers right now, so MSUB right now with 8, and then St. Martin's with 5. I definitely think that can, make a two-point difference, and the field goal percentage right now, MSUB is 10 for 29, and St. Martin's is 11 for 34. So, not great, but not bad either. And then right now you only have, let's see, total points. So you only have one person right now for MSUB, Jalen Tott, in double figures, and then everybody else is kind of in singles. And that goes same thing for St. Martin's. The only double-digit leader right now in total points is Caden Hansen. I would probably say a little low scoring. I think for both teams, I think they're used to putting up way bigger numbers. So maybe in the second half we can see, a couple people, just come alive. Definitely like Kyle Greenlee, James Nislin-Skinner, and Tyke Thompson for sure. Yep. And then on the other end for Montana, I'm looking at, maybe Bryce Whitaker. He had a couple open shots. Yep. And their big man, Emmanuel, I don't know how to pronounce the last name. I don't want to butcher it. And then also, from Daniel Moody. So, because I know Daniel Moody, number 3 for the MSUB. He's also one of their leading scorers. So maybe, if they get them going, I can see this being a very nail-biting game.
Yeah, we're still making sure that the floor is all ready to go after the halftime show.
It's super slick.
Chris Greger out there, our associate athletic director, all over it. I had a point that I was going to say, too. Yes, you mentioned last Saturday, you mentioned it again today, rebounds. Right now, it is 22-21. St. Martin's has the lead. It's a 2-point game. The offensive rebounds are 7-5, very close as well. You highlighted it. Aaron Landon highlighted it. Then right now, in a 2-point game, it seems to be part of the difference, as well as the turnovers that you also mentioned. Out in a 2-3 defense are MSU Billings to start as the Saints start with the ball. We're underway here in half number 2. Hansen with it. Starters out for both sides, it seems. Down low to Shaquem. Turnaround. So easy.
I'm just going to say it. He has just such a nice touch. It's just so effortless.
Well, and that's the thing, I think. As we're going to check the floor again. While we'll talk about that, head coach Aaron Landon, he said MSU Billings, they like to go small. Their kind of small ball lineup is Zeron Richmond at that 5 role. And with this situation, that means they're matching him up against Shaquem Alcindor, who has a size advantage, both height and weight, and that means they're leaving Emmanuel Ejanaku on the bench. He is the sixth man. He'll come off the bench, and he'll contribute a lot. But it seems, at least in the first possession, the Saints trying to take advantage of that.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. That's definitely. I mean, you know, as long as Shaquem Alcinder's in, I would definitely, you know, take that advantage. So especially if they're gonna have Zarin Richmond as their 5, you know.
And Richmond, and I mentioned this story earlier. He was the freshman of the year all the way back in 2019. I believe it was spring 2019, which is before you were even here, right? You were here. You were here. Oh my goodness.
So we're probably me and him.
You and him are the
FYI,
same
I'm quite. I'm gonna use the word elder. So I think me and Mr. Richmond have a little bit in common that way.
Speaking of, that ball's deflected as Whitaker is trying to get it to Tot there. But he has had season-ending injury. He won Freshman of the Year, and then every season since, his season has been ended by an injury. And so here he is, coming out of nowhere, essentially. I mean, the coaches who are around that season, like head coach Aaron Landon, remember Zarin Richmond and have game planned for him and are prepared for it. But, like, there wasn't enough that I think was really thinking about him and how much of a difference maker he could be. And that was something that Aaron Landon said to me at the beginning of the season. He said, MSUB is going to be fine losing Carrington Wiggins because they got a guy coming back who's a freshman of the year that if he fully is healed and ready to play after his injuries, he's gonna kick some butt down there, and he was exactly right on that. And now he's guarding Shaquem Alcindor, who misses the shot. A lot of contact between him and Richmond. Saints are in a 2-3 zone. 2 high posts. Richmond comes up. And Shaquem's going to have to go on him and be pulled all the way out of the three-point line. So the Saints kind of getting pulled out of what they want, and that ball is thrown out of bounds, but deflected somewhere. I thought it was just a contact that affected the pass, but apparently it took a touch somewhere. 29-25, St. Martin's with the lead. This is a defensive battle right now, and if you would have told me, and it's a similar storyline to your guys' game in the first contest, as the three-pointer's on the way from Tot missed. Kyle Greeley fighting for the rebound. It's won by Shaquem in the end, who cleans up the mess. With your guys' game, it was a kickball. It was a contrasting kind of views. Western Washington, they're good. Their women's team is good all around, but their offense is one of the better ones in the conference. And you guys are a defensive team through and through. You guys forced them to play to your style, and they still survived that game, but they were definitely really uncomfortable. Right now, the Saints are being forced to play to MSUB's style as the ball is taken away down under. They're going to call foul on Whitaker. Right now, the Saints, more of an offensive team. They'd much rather score points. The best defense in the country, I think, on the men's, or in the GNAC on the men's side is Billings. And this is a low-scoring game, but the Saints right now have a narrow lead. Stokes for 3. Stokes with a big bucket. And I talked about the absence in the first half, the famous left hand. He is still nowhere to be seen. I'm sure he's probably watching this stream right now. And just hope it's not an injury situation. Hope it's not anything that'll keep him out for very long, whatever it is, as a foul is called on the shot. And for those who are watching that don't know who famous left hand is, I won't go into the full story on him, but I will say the first question I get asked when I bring up that the Saints are playing a guy named famous left hand is he left-handed? He's not. He's actually right-handed. And I know if he's watching, he's probably rolling his eyes at the fact that he probably gets asked that question a fair amount too. But Aaron Landon very much was not looking forward to playing a guy of his talent. And, you know, as much as it's fun to watch the Saints win. He's also a very fun player to watch, so, you know, part of me is bummed that we don't get to see left hand in action. Kyle Greeley misses the layup. Another uncharacteristic high-range miss, or high percentage miss, as that is a great job by Richardson to adjust to it, and too much crafty passing intercepted by Tyke Thompson. Skinny after Todd tried to jump the pass. Oh my goodness, that would have been a heck of a shot put in, but it just didn't give him the forgiveness on the rim. Kick out for three, Todd. Nails it. Back to a 2-point game. There is not a lot of Billings fans in the house right now, as this one is taken off. Traveling is called after Daniel Moody got that ball hung up in front of his face and just took one too many steps. Great job by the Saints to create some sort of effect on that shot. Tyke Thompson, we saw him miss about a month with injury, working his way down the court right now. Saints in the rotating offense. Now it's Kyle Greeley with it. Saints leading scorer to the bucket, and it's rejected. And that is a good blueprint for trying to stop the Saints, is to cut down Kyle Greeley. Right now, he is at just 5 points for number 5. He was named earlier this week to the Bevo Francis watch list, which is the small college basketball top player in the country. And that is everything that's not D1 and not JUCO. Everything in between that. Floater by Skinny, splashes it home. Nobody on MSU Billings was named to that squad. However, their crosstown rivals, who actually handed them 2 of their losses this year, as Richmond takes it strong to the bucket. Their crosstown rival, Rocky Mountain College, who is their last loss, which was in double overtime, they actually had a player named to the Bevo Francis watch list. And that player, I forget his name, but he's from New Zealand. Not the basketball hotbed, but hey, Steven Adams did all he could to make basketball a big thing in New Zealand. We're seeing timeout called on the floor after a traveling on Jayshawn Moore. We've played 4.5 minutes in this second half, but it's exactly the same as how we started the half. A 2-point lead for the St. Martin Saints. We'll be right back.
They will soon be embarking on professional careers across the spectrum of professional fields, taking with them the value of the St. Martin's education and the memories of having played and competed as a Saint. Let's give them a loud round of applause.
So he was good.
Welcome back. 34-32. Yellow Jackets basketball. Jalen Tott with the ball. Jalen Tott plays on the squad with his brother as this ball is down low and missed. Somehow Moody missed that. He was being smothered by Jayshawn Moore. Now Tyke Thompson takes it down the floor, holds up, gets it to Skinny. Jalen and Jawan Top, both from Dallas, Texas. Tyke Thompson for three, right in front of the student section. Give it to him. Now Tot pulls up. Tot, too strong. Rebound, Greeley. I mentioned in the early going, these are two teams that are built off of not just the transfer portal, which is usually talking about long three-pointer. Tyke Thompson, heat check. Oh, my. He hit that one from the Montana border, it seems like. Wow, 40-32. As maybe one day I'll get to talk about the transfers that these teams are made up of. Missed off the front of the rim. Saints fighting for the rebound. It's in the corner. Thrown into the garbage can is Jay-Sean Moore, and the ball is said to be Yellow Jacket basketball. Like I was saying, both these teams, not only do they hit the transfer portal somewhat hard, but they also hit the JUCO level so hard. Both the Top brothers from Dawson Community College. I'm counting 1, 2, 3 more non-NCAA institutions in United Tribes Technical College, Gillette College, where Joniku comes from, Dawson Community College, where Peyton Sanders comes from. It's finding that JUCO route. Obviously, Aaron Landon on the other side, he was a JUCO coach at South Puget Sound Community College. That's where he got Tyke Thompson from, where he coached him there and then got him from there. Brandon Bunn played there. A lot of other St. Martin Saints started their careers there. It's the transfer portal gets a lot of talk, especially because it's just the end of college football season, and it always flares up at the end of college football season. As this nice fadeaway by Todd is hit down. But it really is, in college basketball, especially where the rosters are so small, it changes the landscape completely. And Aaron Landon's won 2 conference championships. A big part of it is that guy, Tyke Thompson. Another 3 straight triples from Tyke. Tot to the bucket, floats that one, and it goes in and out. This rim hated the Saints in the first half, and right now it has come up with some tough breaks for, everybody wanted Tyke to shoot that. It's come up with some tough breaks for Billings as that one just rimmed out. Hansen, as they're overplaying the 3, over a Joniku. Caden Hansen gets the bucket. Caden Hansen, I don't not believe the roster, but he's listed at 6'2". Maybe it's generous. A Joniku listed at 6'11". And, Isaiah Thomas-esque could go over a guy that's that much taller than you and make a bucket. He does exactly that. We'll take a quick break on the Saints Digital Network. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back, 13-12 to go. 45-34 after the Saints going on a 5-0 run, and it's a big Tyke Thompson highlight little spurt there from him. 3 3-pointers, and then Caden Hansen said, if you're going to overplay me on the three-point line, I'll take you to the bucket and shoot it over a 6'11 opponent. Not easy. Not easy. it's not easy if you're 6'11" to shoot it over Emmanuel Oshanaku. Tyke Thompson playing defense on him and doing it pretty well. Kuba inside over Hansen, and they're going to call a foul on Caden Hansen. That one's frustrating because, again, Hansen is doing all he can. Has a couple inches less than Kuba there. In the end, Kuba will have some shots at the free throw line. Kuba is an 83% free throw shooter. Small sample size. He's only shot 6. Now he's shot 7, and I think I jinxed him because he missed the first. He is now 5 of 7 at the line this season. In comes the Swedish Fungula, as well as Zoran Richmond back onto the court, replacing Stephen Richardson, as well as somebody else who just exited, who I don't see. I think it was Moody that just sat down. Another missed free throw after Kuba's only missed 2 all season. Oh, this is a heat check. This is an air ball. Stevens almost gets that, or I mean, not Stevens, that was Jayshawn Moore who almost grabbed that one and threw it in. Ajanaku now back to basket, guarded by the smaller Tyke Thompson. Out to the corner, Richmond under the basket, gets it to Fungula. To the corner, Kuba, left-handed splash from the corner. Big bucket that was much needed for Billings after the Saints have been on a little bit of a run. Now down under. Turnaround by Tyke Thompson, and he continues his hot streak. He is now the leading points getter for the Saints at 13. Jalen Todd at 16. He fires, and he puts it down. 19 now for Todd. (47-40). As you said in the first half, Lauren, nobody's going to let this game get away easy.
No, not at all. And especially, if they're going to keep going, point for point like that right there from Jaden Nissel-Skinner. So I think this game's just going to come down to it.
To the hoop. Nice attempt, but just couldn't get the finish. Caden Hansen flowing out ahead of everybody. Stops, pops, and can't get the long 2. Now up to Ajanaku. Oh my goodness. What an impressive play by Caden Hansen to deflect that one away. It was right on the doorstep from Ajanaku. Instead, it's 2 points for the Saints. They expand their lead to 11. This is the Saints' largest lead of the game. 51-40. Kuba, guarded by Hansen, will attack the basket, puts it up and in. I guess it's Koba. I've been saying it wrong all night. My apologies. Kai Koba. Kai Kuba just rolled out the tongue better. Affected shot there, missed by Tyke Thompson. They're starting to bring doubles and maybe even triple teams to Thompson when he gets it on the offensive side. As Todd just tried to jump over Jayshawn Moore and do a fancy little thing there, it didn't work. We're going to take a break on the Saints Digital Network. It is a 9-point lead for SMU, the number 3 team in the country, battling with the undefeated GNAC foes. This is going to be a good one down the stretch. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back. 10-14 to go. 51-42. Inbound from Todd. Oh, that was a very good play. Richmond throws it down. But as we learned at the end of the Western Oregon game, luckily for the Saints, a dunk is usually only worth 2 points. They got out-dunked in that one, but they won by 20-something. 23 to be exact. I should take a look, see what else is happening around the league maybe one of these days. Skinny with it. Now to Kyle Gurley, 5 on the shot clock. Gets it down. Shaquem needs to shoot it. He does. Off glass, in and out. Offensive rebound. That one's missed. And no, it gets to Koba. Quick. Tot for 3. He will not miss in this contest, it seems.
No, it definitely seems like the second half he's really been heating up. He's been kind of carrying a lot of the load right now for MSUB on the scoring end.
It's a 4-point game. Jayshawn Moore with it. He goes to the bucket, taken away by Moody on the interception. Up ahead, Richmond. Saints, I think, need to call a timeout, especially if a bucket is scored here. It is a late foul call after that one rimmed out. So the Saints have pros and cons in that possession because it could have been an and one. While Richmond heads to the line, I will take a look at the men's basketball schedule for tonight. First free throw made by Richmond. We did have a delay due to weather, actually. Alaska, Fairbanks, and Simon Fraser are going tomorrow. Don't know if it was weather for Alaska coming in or if it was bad weather up in Burnaby. You guys haven't taken your trip up there. Men's basketball already has. But I know from the outdoor sports at St. Martin's, it can get foggy. It can get sketchy up on that hill where Simon Fraser is located. 2-point game. Here we are all of a sudden. It was an 11-point game a moment ago. Saints need an offensive score here. They get it out to Marcel Stevens, a spot-up shooter, and he hits a big shot. The other games going on tonight in the GNAC are Alaska Anchorage at Western Washington and Seattle Pacific at Western Oregon. Greeley being attacked by Moody. That ball's out. Ooh. That one looked like it might have gone last off of the feet or somewhere on Moody, but they're going to say it's Saints ball after Greeley potted away. Gets it to Koba. Kobo's played a lot of big second half minutes here. A foul is called on the Saints. The Saints are now being called for 5 fouls in this half compared to just 1 on Billings. 8:20 to go. Bonus could play a factor soon as the Saints have 1 more foul to give. Final on the men's basketball side, Western Washington defeated Alaska Anchorage. And right now Western Oregon is getting, I don't know what the nicest way to put this, they're getting slaughtered by SBU. It is 79-45 as that is a pop to the face of Jaden Nielsen-Skinner. He came down, Daniel Moody did, and swatted him in the face. I wonder if that, I'm kind of surprised they might not take another look at that if that had an argument to be a flagrant. If it was, doesn't have to be intentional, but if you are making a play that could be a reckless act, it can be considered a flagrant one. Nothing to look at. They're just saying he was fighting for the rebound, and Skinny luckily is okay. Down under, Greeley. Greeley. For all the fouls we saw called on one side, that one goes uncalled, but Greeley doesn't care. He makes the bucket. Saints up 7. It's 79-45. Seattle Pacific leads Western Oregon. That game has 7 minutes to go, but you can call it an SPU win. 3-pointer on the way, missed. Rebound Stokes. Ooh, he nearly stepped out. His foot was close. So you can essentially say SPU wins as they're up by 36. Western Washington did win as that one just rims out. Rebound Richmond. What does that mean for the standings on the men's side? Right now, with Anchorage losing, that is their second loss in conference play. That means there is 2 teams that have 1 loss or less, and you are watching them right in front of you. 3-pointer on the way from Richmond, wide open, and he puts it in the bucket. 4-point game with under 7 to go. MSUB is undefeated in conference play. St. Martin's is 4-1.
This is what I mentioned kind of earlier, in our halftime talk, just about other people stepping up, on both sides to score. So I mean, we've had Kyle Greenlee, add to the contribution, and on the other side, what is his name? Zaharin Richmond. They call another foul?
That was a foul, which is painful to watch. I talked about they're letting play for the most part. Problem is the Saints have gotten hit with a couple of those body ones. And you see, I mean, I just watched Greeley on the other side, and it looked, I wouldn't have called it, but I wouldn't have called the one that happened right in front of us. It is going to be a close finish. More players get involved. We're seeing more offense. We've already saw more points scored this half than we saw in all the first. We'll take a quick break for the media timeout on the Saints Digital Network. Welcome back here. 6:27 to go. Next foul on the Saints is the bonus. On the other side, there can be 4 more fouls before the bonus is activated by MSUB. That means we'll be shooting free throws the rest of the way for MSUB. Koba scores at the basket. It is a 1-possession game once again. Skinny looking down low. Nate Stokes, he gets some contact. We've seen 6 fouls called on the Saints, and that one goes uncalled on MSUB. Some huge calls and non-calls down the stretch, it seems here. Top for 3 in the lead. Misses that one. Wow. He's made every other one this half. He's made 6 threes total. And that one, he can't force down the hoop. Caden Hansen, stop, shimmy, shake, but he does a smart thing and gets rid of it. Greeley now, guarded by Richmond, stops, pulls up, misses it, rebound Todd. He couldn't will that one in. 5:20 to go. The Saints haven't scored in over 2 minutes. The final game of the night. As that one's missed, blocked by Hansen. Richmond goes paws up on the ground, thinking there should have been a call there. But all we saw is a clean block from Hansen on the other side. He puts it down. Hansen on one side, and on the other side, he cashes in a triple. Ty Thompson got shuffled there. Now Moody will get a foul. And I'm looking over immediately at Aaron Landon, and he does the obligatory coach thing that you have to do when the fouls are so lopsided, which is this is the point of the scoreboard. It's pretty simple. 7-2, the fouls are called, and you got to think sometimes the fouls can be lopsided, especially if the teams are lopsided, but you have to think that the Saints, they're not a bad team. They get fouled a lot. Something's up. First free throw is made by Moody.
I just kind of think on I think the referees are missing, a little bit of contact on the other end, and they seem to be seeing all the contact that's happening, while the Saints are on defense.
Got to be frustrating for the Saints. Both free throws made by Moody, so they answer. We saw the Saints in the one game that they got tripped up this year. It happened right in front of us. It was the conference opener against Northwest Nazarene. It was a Hansen tries for long three, high up in the air. Moody, a foul will be called, and that means Moody gets to shoot 1-on-1. And once again, let me finish what I was saying. The only NNU loss, or the only St. Martin's loss, was to NNU when things got like this for a lot of the game, where it was foul call, free throws, and it became a free throw shooting competition less than a full-fledged basketball game.
Yeah, well, especially because, like with these one-on-one free throws, they kind of take teams out of rhythm. So that rhythm that they maybe had for the past, maybe 3-4 minutes, now that they're kind of in a situation like this, it really does take them out of rhythm.
And that was very interesting because that free throw was made. They called a lane violation on MSUB on that one. I don't know if it was on Moody, the shooter, or who, but now we're seeing the Saints back with the ball. Zone defense from MSUB to the bucket. Hansen, he has a lot of contact on him. He gets his own rebound. It hits the bottom of the basket, and then Stokes goes out of bounds, off balance. I think he thought he was pushed because he didn't even try and throw it back in. But our refs did not see a push, and we play on. Fouls now 8-2 in favor of the Jackets, technically. I guess technically in favor of the Saints. 8 fouls called on the Saints. Richmond stops, gets it down low to Moody, guarded by Tyke Thompson. To the hoop. That one goes uncalled, which kind of surprised me, but he gets back his rebound, and it's a 1-point game. Saints are 1 for 7 of their last 7 attempts. The only make was the Caden Hansen 3. Todd guarding Greeley. He pulls up, rattles it home. Needed it, did the Saints. Jalen Todd is 3 of 4 of his last 4 3-pointers. Can't give him space to shoot on the edge. He's looking a lot like Carrington Wiggins did last year, the GNAC Player of the Year. Kick ball. And a made 3. Listen, that was good. A good kick. Nice foot reaction. And then a good catch by Moody on the comebacker. Maybe both those guys have a better some sort of a future in soccer. Tyke Thompson is a striker and Moody is a goalie. We'll take our final media timeout. 3:19 to go. 61-58. Saints lead. Welcome in. 3:19 to go. 61-58. St. Martin's, the number 3 team in the country, have the lead. On the other side, MSU Billings has won 6 straight. Their last loss was in double overtime to NAI crosstown foe Rocky Mountain. The last loss before that was to a ranked Black Hills State squad. Student section is going to be on their feet for the final 4 minutes, or now only about 3 minutes. As the Saints are in man-to-man here to come out. Moody nearly shoveled his feet, guarded by Greeley. Fighting, and Greeley with the block. Wow, Greeley the stuff. Look at the pass, and the dunk is missed by, oh my, they called a foul. Wow, the dunk was missed by Tyke Thompson. I didn't know who touched him there. I thought that was completely uninhibited to the bucket.
I mean, they seem to be calling the foul on number 12.
Yeah.
On number 12, Richmond. So.
Whew. I guess he got a touch somewhere when he was going up. I was surprised we got a whistle, period, as Thompson was looking to put him on a poster. First free throw is good. And, wow, that would have been a heck of a highlight. That one missed. Rebound goes to Koba. Tot will bring it up. We got under 3 minutes to go at Marcus Pavilion, a standing student section and high stakes. Possibly a conference title on the line as this one is somehow saved by Koba. Stokes, again Koba has to save one that nearly went out. Back to Richmond. Richmond falls on the ground. It's a travel. The crowd erupts. Richmond palms up on the ground asking how he fell down without being tripped. But part of the advantage of having a crowd is when they're yelling so loud, the ref can't hear the argument for a bad call that the other team thinks they got, especially not right in front of the student section. 62-58. Hansen. Now to Skinny. Skinny to the bucket, nearly lost it, got it back and put it in. Saints up by 6, 2 minutes to go. It is going to be a long 2 minutes. But as of right now, the Saints faithful is feeling good. We'll take a break on the Saints Digital Network. 2:05 to go. St. Martin's, the number 3 team in the country, up by 6. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go. 27 on the shot clock, 64-58. Thank you all for tuning in. Scott Gladstone and Lauren Morris here with you to bring you the exciting conclusion to this contest. It is fairly early in the conference season, but this has huge stakes. It was down to these two teams for the conference title regular season and the regular season last year. Great defense by Nathaniel Stokes, and in the end, the rebound is grabbed by St. Martin's, and Richardson ends up below Kyle Greeley. Bodies hitting the floor. Part of what you said when you said no team is going to let this get away easy is every rebound, especially the remainder of the way, it's going to be fought for like that. Like nobody's going to get it easy.
Yeah. No,
it is going to be bodies on the
100%.
floor. Wow. 64-58. The foul is not. Saints have a long way to go to get in the bonus compared to their counterparts as they're in the bonus. Saints need to receive 3 more fouls before they're shooting 1-on-1. which honestly late in this game could be a benefit because it could help the time tick down. Richardson being guarded by Greeley. The 2 number 5s going at it, and the 5 on St. Martin's wins it. Kyle Greeley. Saints are in a 2-3 zone. Koba needing to answer with a 3, and he does. A monumental response from Koba.
I will say he's been clutch. He has been this second half. I think he has been that spark that I really think that MSUB has needed. He has 11 points right now, and I think they've all been in the second half.
Koba on the season averages 4.5 points per game, and I mentioned it. We talked about it plenty in the first half. Mentioned it maybe a little bit in the second half. But famous left hand, for reasons unknown to us, is out tonight. He's not with the team on the bench. And so when you need points, especially when Luke Fennelly has to deal with the GNAC Player of the Year last year not being on the roster anymore and Carrington Wiggins graduating, I think that's always been the question for this year's Billings squad. They need buckets to come, and they've always got it from different guys each week. And this week, apparently, it's 1, Jalen Todd, who's come through all night, but 2, Koba with 12 points. I mean, off the bench, he's playing phenomenal.
Oh yeah. And I mean, and they're really big 12 points for sure. You know, I mean that three in the corner. He's hit that twice. He's hit that twice now in that same corner.
It is going to be white basketball. That is Saints.
I mean, that defensive play by Tot was pretty impressive.
Yeah. So they're in a full court press. We're going to review this one. It's going to be a review.
Yeah.
What I just thought I saw, what happened was they threw it into the corner, and then the Saints tried to go back quick. It was deflected up in the air. And then I believe it was Tot went jumping out of bounds, grabbed it, threw it back in, and the ref over the top of it, it looked like he pointed to Caden Hansen, which usually signifies you touched it last, and he was definitely on the line. But then he said white ball, and that's where I got confused. That's what lost me. And that's where Luke Fennelly, the head coach of the Billings that's the minor league baseball team in Billings, the Billings Mustangs, who I also broadcast against. So forgive me for my brain is scrambled. Luke Fennelly of the Billings Yellow Jackets, their head coach, he went, wait, what? You just pointed. You said it was off him. What's going on? And now we're going to review it. Another confusing fact that maybe this isn't the time to put this in there, but there was a player on the Billings Mustangs baseball team that was named Luke Fennelly. Did I say that last week? It's a true story. No relation to Luke Fennelly. This Luke Fennelly is from Whitefish, Montana. That other Luke Fennelly's from like California or something. He plays for the Billings Mustangs. This is Billings Yellow Jackets. Both sports guys in Billings. And this Luke Fennelly, who's taken over the reins from Mick Durham, a longtime head coach, a guy that Aaron Landon called kind of the elder statesman, kind of the guy that everybody in the league respected. Now Luke Fennelly takes over, and there's a lot of instant respect for him and his coaching staff. Aaron Landon was so complimentary of how well they were coaching. You saw it right on that defensive press play. They nearly got the ball back. This is a huge call.
Yeah. Well, this can, this call can kind of sway, which way things are going to go here for the next, 58.5 seconds.
They're talking, the three refs are. They're not going to be the most welcome people in the building if they flip the call and say it's Billings ball. They're talking a lot right now.
Yeah.
The problem is, so I believe the call on the floor was it is Saints ball, which in general, the rule of replays is you have to have clear evidence to overturn it. We have a camera up in that corner of the gym. I don't know how good the view would have been on that one. And then the other camera is in the corner, like across the gyms from it, that they see for replay. Our camera, honestly, for the broadcast, if people backed it up, they are going to say it's Billings ball. So apparently,
another possession right here, or this is actually an extra possession.
Yeah,
so an extra possession for Billings.
And it showed that press worked too, which also, The Saints would have loved another chance to crack the press, I'm sure. They're going to throw it way down the floor where Moody's waiting for it. Tott's being guarded closely by Skinny. 50 seconds to go. 5-point game. Tott with it. Tott stops, pulls up, and floats it in. Kyle Greeley will take the ball up the floor, and it's a 3-point game. Saints with the ball. One thing right now that the Saints know is the clock is their friend. Richardson was guarding Greeley. Now it's Tott on Skinny. If the Saints get a bucket here, the hill becomes very, very large for the Yellow Jackets to climb up. 5 on the shot clock. Hansen with it. Needs to shoot. Gets some space under the basket. Thompson, as the shot clock expires, scores. Todd coming down quickly. He's going to take a quick shot here. Three-pointer on the way, missed. Koba, offensive rebound. He missed it. Tyke Thompson with the rebound, and the foul is on Thompson. Todd came down, and he rushed that shot maybe a little bit too much. He's been on fire today, but he missed the biggest shot that the Yellow Jackets needed. And remember about 2 minutes ago when I said, because of the timing situation, not having a lot of fouls called on MSU Billings will help the Saints. Right now, it's one of those situations where you see the Saints now having a foul or two to give, and we just bled 2 more seconds off the clock, and they're going to get a chance if they get a clean inbounds to bleed another second off the clock. And when you get this close, you just want the guys to be able to go to the free throw line. But 5-point deficit in 6 seconds, unless there's a steal on an inbounds, it might be a little too much to overcome. They're going to throw up a jump ball as it is out, and it is Saints ball, says our referee. We might go to the monitor on this one too. They're asking for a review, and the referee just shook him off and said no. Kyle Greeley gets the inbound, foul called. This is what you guys are trying to do at the end of your game in a close game, is intentionally foul. Your refs didn't want to call that.
No. She just kind of stood there in the corner while one of our players was like viciously hacking. I mean, it's an obvious foul. So
don't you love the dynamics of a basketball game where as the first free throw by Greeley is made, front end of a 101, you try and not foul for, 39 minutes, and then you try and foul as hard as you can. And when it doesn't get called, it's pretty rough. Missed shot. Moody will get it. That will be the ball game. St. Martin's escapes a tremendous battle with MSU Billings with a 6-point win. The Yellow Jackets are undefeated no more in conference play, and the Saints have put themselves in a virtual tie for first place in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference, and the race to a three-peat is back in full throttle for St. Martin's University. Woo-hoo-hoo. Lauren? No game's easy. No game is simple. No win is simple. I guess losing a lot sometimes feels simple almost. We were talking on Saturday about how good this MSU Billings squad. They were missing their 4th leading scorer in famous left hand, and they didn't skip a beat. They were still phenomenal. Jalen Tott, man, he played his heart out. But at the end of the day, the Saints escaped. What do you think it came down to?
I mean, honestly, I think we all know, just how good, and how well coached both these teams are. But when you look at it, I just think the Saints had a lot more depth. The Saints, they have a lot more depth. They have a lot more guys that can come off their bench, and score. And that's not excluding, Koba's, just great 12 points,
Yep.
him coming from off the bench. And all 12 of those points were in the second half when they were definitely needed. But, I just think the Saints had more firepower for sure. And, and I just don't think, I don't think MSUB, had enough, especially, Daniel Moody. He only had 12, I think he's due for a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
I think he averages, at least maybe 14 or, something like that. So,
Yep.
But they only had 3 guys really in those double digits. I mean, Bryce Whitaker. He had 6, and in Richmond he had 7. So I mean, they got scoring from everywhere, but I just don't think they got enough. So, because rebounds are pretty evenly, matched. So, but I will say the turnovers, Montana had 12, and the Saints, they ended up with 10. So, and again, this was only 69, 63. So I mean, turnovers like that, even though MSUB only had 2 more. Those are 2 more possessions that were lost. That could subsequently in this game it could have maybe resulted in them for a win. So I just think it's just like the little things like that.
Yep. You mentioned the bench, the depth of this team. Obviously, MSUB. This is with the fact that one of the starters would have been coming off the bench for MSU Billings. A famous left hand was here, but still with that, the St. Martin Saints with 25 bench points compared to 14. This is one of the best bench scoring teams in the country. They're in the top 15, I believe, maybe even the top 10. And when you're going up against a team and hey, their starters shift out and it's just as difficult, how difficult is that, and why does that make the St. Martin's team so hard to beat?
Well, I think it just like attests to, to all their hard work, so I mean, whether or not you're a bench player or a starter, everybody on their team, puts in so much work. And so, I mean, I think it just kind of means that, whoever they're playing, they need to be ready, and they need to have, just as many individuals being able to, keep up with them.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Lauren Morris. We will take a quick break, very quick, and when we come back, we'll talk to head coach Aaron Landon and Tyke Thompson on the Saints postgame report. Welcome back, everybody. Scott Gladstone here on the Saints postgame report presented by O'Blarney's. Head coach Aaron Landon and Tyke Thompson after a big win for the Saints, albeit a nervy one at times. You guys went up by 11, then it got back close. It was back and forth all night. What Lauren and I were just talking about was the depth of this team. You have a guy like Tyke Thompson coming off the bench. You have a guy like Marcel Stevens, Miles Samuels, who we talked to postgame on Saturday. This team is one of the top 15 or 10 teams in the country in bench points. How difficult is that for other teams to deal with when you say we got a next 5 that's just as good as our starting 5?
I was smiling because our next 5 sort of is our starting 5. I mean, right?
Yeah.
How many games has Shaquem Alcindor, started, and he's played most this year off the bench. He is a starter, so he got hurt. He missed the Central game and a couple of those Canadian schools after that. So he missed like 3 weeks. And it's just not fair to him to, throw him back. You miss that much time. You've got a road to getting back into shape even after you're cleared. So it's not like we had, we had a bunch of bench guys. I just feel like we bring starters off the bench. I think the special thing is how these guys handle that, how Shaquem handles it, how he's handled it. I mean, it takes a pretty selfless, special person to be GNAC all-conference and just be willing to come off the bench, and that's the special part. Jay Sean Moore, moves out of the starting lineup tonight. I thought he gave great energy off the bench. A couple tough turnovers and fouls like in a sequence, but in the first half I thought he gave us a nice spark. So just credit these guys in their attitude of creating that culture where it's okay to come off the bench. It can just be anybody's night depending on what's going on.
When you and I talked before the game, you said rebounding. That's a huge thing. You guys won the offensive rebounding battle. You won the total rebounding battle. And another thing you pointed out was obviously Shaquem's rebounding, but also Caden Hansen. A guy like that, he's 6'2". He's out there getting a lot of rebounds. He's also shooting over a 6'11" Emmanuel Ajanaku in the paint. He made that great layup in the first half. When you get guys, whether they're listed at 6 foot or listed at 6'8" or 6'9", and they're all fighting for boards as hard as we saw throughout that game, what impresses you about the team when they do that?
To me, that's that's the most honorable thing that you can do, is go in and scrap and make the non-skill plays. These guys are so incredibly skilled. You know, got a 6'8" guy that shoots the three like this, or, you know, you got Caden, who's super skilled, but he's not wrapped up in, you know, I'm this little skinny guy. I shouldn't be getting offensive rebounds. Did he lead our team in offensive rebounds tonight? Yeah, he sure did. He got 3 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, 3 offensive boards.
And what, Kate he didn't even know what was going on tonight, right? He was just no, he didn't even know what was going on. He didn't know who we were playing against. He didn't know. He wasn't looking. Yeah, he didn't read the scout. Just sort of out there playing. Look at him, happy. You can see the screen right there. Yeah, he was just sort of out here, something to do tonight. Kind of bored on a Thursday. Yeah, open gym. No, he's just that's part of. It's part of what makes him fun, is he's just kind of out there just doing his thing, scrapping, confident, and just another awesome piece.
Let's talk about Tyke a little bit more in depth real quick. When he makes those threes down the stretch in the second half, I mean, first of all, it just, like, I feel like every single game, especially the MSU Billings game last year, I feel like he had a big three right in front of the student section. And he had a couple of those heat check threes that was just like, yeah, I'm going to shoot it from basically out of bounds and I'll make it. When you have a player like that, I mean, that's it's gotta make being a coach a little bit easier sometimes, right?
Yeah, of course. We genuinely believe that we have, more than anything that we do, we have the best players in the conference. We genuinely believe that. Their talent level, we feel like, is at the top, night in and night out. There's just so many tough guys that sometimes your skill can't take the night. You know, sometimes it turns into a street fight. There's a final few possessions down here. You see Skinny and Nate Stokes, you know, getting hit, fighting for a rebound. You get Kyle Greeley blocking a shot. You see Skinny blocked a shot tonight. First time in the history of mankind. You know, you get guys just getting outside of themselves, doing those things, and I genuinely believe that that's what wins. I think that their talent is what makes us good. Just the character to go out and battle. That's what makes them special. That three, I know exactly what you're talking about. I have a great picture of it, and the whole crowd is up on their feet or, you know, doing this. I didn't realize until I looked at this that, you know, he rebounded like he did. I knew he had a good night, and he hit that flurry of threes. Yep. When he was matched up with Emmanuel Ajanaku, who's a great player. Yep. But it's special to bring him up here. It would have been him either way, because I felt like he was really aggressive tonight, and there's just there's so much that it'll probably just go untold forever. But I get to do like this much here. When we were out in Billings last year, we lost a tough game, and we came back and had to get ready for Seattle Pacific. And I remember while we were waiting for our shoot-around, just being in the lobby and pulling up clips on my phone. Don't know if he remembers, but I had everything clipped up and ready to go because I felt like he wasn't on the attack out in Billings, and I wanted to see, and specifically that matchup on, Ajanaku's an incredible player, but I wanted to see him be the aggressor and attack. Yeah. And so, to see a guy get older and older, we challenge him so much. To see a guy progress and answer the bell, and those are the moments that make this thing so special, and it's tied to this moment a year ago that didn't even happen in this gym. But I remember the lobby at SPU, and all the times I've challenged him. It's been like 6 years now. So when guys are able to fight through that, it's the most special thing to me in this whole deal.
I remember last year I don't know if it was exactly the game after the Billings win, or it was around that time when you said St. Martin's most hated team of the GNAC. This guy is probably the most hated player in the GNAC.
In the world. Sorry,
world.
I meant to. Yeah, yeah. It transcends cultures and all that. And,
Brandon Buns in Croatia right now hearing about.
For sure.
how
Oh, they
those
can't
guys
stand
take
them
Tyke
in.
Thompson.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Sort of in that like Eastern Bloc of Europe.
Yeah.
They really don't like Tyke out there.
Okay.
That circled its
Velko
way
hasn't
back.
spread the good word yet, has he?
No, he certainly has not. Velchko had nothing good to say about Tyke out there. He didn't do him any favors. Sorry.
The follow-up to the big shot, big three question, the slam dunk that would have popped the lid off this place, that a foul was called.
I would have made that. I
Okay.
would have.
That was all I was asking.
For sure.
All right.
Yeah, no, I would have finished that. And, what these kids don't understand is you gotta hammer that with two. Again, you can't do everything for these guys. Otherwise, I would have. No, look, I just want to say this. I really admire the toughness that Billings plays with.
Yeah.
Like, how about this? Just making something out of nothing down here. You know what I mean? They get the deflection against Caden, and they're just fighting, and they're just so scrappy, so physical. That's such a well-balanced team, and Luke Fennelly's done an incredible job. It's hard to take over for a really good coach. I've been through that. You want to take over a dumpster fire. But, he takes over for Mick Durham, who's a legend. He's been great. I have a ton of admiration for how they play, for how they fight, for how they compete. We have to go out to Billings. They've built a really strong record by going and doing the most challenging things in the GNAC. They've played at NNU and won there. They've played at Central and won there. They've beaten Western Washington. They've played a lot of the toughest teams. They'll play their travel partner next week, so their light week, their single game week will come at the end. So I just thought, tonight's about as special as it gets. We beat a really good team. It's really good. We'll play them again at least once more. That's the type of team that you just keep seeing. They ain't going nowhere. Those guys are so tough. We'll see them again, maybe the conference tournament. They're headed to the regional. I mean, we'll probably see them there. So I love our guys. I just thought tonight was such a great response from him. He's a senior now. He's waited so much time in his college career for this year. And so just to lose time, to lose those weeks, I know that killed him. To not be in the best shape coming back from it, but being challenged to go play tough road games, up in Canada and Bellingham. Life's just it's never perfect. And to see guys fight through that and answer the bell in the biggest moment, that's clutch. So that's just highly enjoyable for me to get to witness it.
All right, Coach. Thank you
All
very
right.
much. We'll see you on Saturday. You're up, Tyke.
Let me make one thing clear. Coach Landon would not dunk that. He'll hurt his knee or something. He's not dunking
All
that.
right. Have you ever gone back and seen pictures of him in his playing days or videos of him in his playing days?
Yeah, I've seen some pictures of him.
Were you impressed? One-on-one, Tyke Thompson versus Aaron Landon in the prime.
I'll get him. I'm gonna
Close,
beat him.
though?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably
All right. Tyke, your coach, he referred to you last year, most hated player in the GNAC. You escalated as most hated player in the world. When you know that you guys are playing with the target on your back, and especially you, just because of all the tools you come in with, how do you guys continually turn that into fuel rather than getting beaten down by it?
I just think we're all on the same page, and we all got really big goals. We've won two championships in a row. We're trying to get a third, but that's not it. We got really big goals, a senior heavy team, so I think we're all just bought in right now and trying to just take it one win at a time.
On last Saturday, you had the great alley-oop from Caden Hansen, and your head coach and I were talking about Caden, and he talks about how a guy like that's still scrapping, despite his profile doesn't stick out a lot, but he and everybody else in the squad kind of make up this group that is really elite, not just in the GNAC but in the country. When you think about the kind of team and the chemistry that's surrounded with, where everybody on the roster is fighting, what makes you enjoy playing with this team?
It's fun. I mean, we're all close. I feel like we're all close, and there's good energy off the court, on the court. So I just think we go through the same stuff, all of us. So we all know what it is. We're in the gym every single day together. We travel together. We get food together. We do everything together. So I just think it's a matter of being close on and off the court. Helps us a lot.
Gotta ask about the atmosphere. I mean, you've seen different phases of this team when you transferred in, when Aaron took over. Obviously, you kind of struggled in that first season Aaron was here. You had COVID where there was no fans, and now you are, I mean, I don't know who's the headliner, but you and Aaron have kind of been neck and neck in terms of this resurgence, so that we get a building like this that's packed, that's rocking. You guys are beating a very good team. You guys have continually set marks for the highest ranking in school history. What's it like to be able to just play in front of this crowd and kind of continue go on this journey with your head coach who's pushed you so far?
Yeah, no, I think it means everything, honestly. Coming in, my first year here, my redshirt year, we didn't win barely any games. The year after that was COVID, like you had said. So just honestly being really patient and trusting the process, I guess, if you want to say that. But, yeah, just the fans, it was super fun tonight. Hopefully we can keep filling it up even when it's not packed the pavilion night. But the fans help a lot, and it makes it that much more fun to play.
All right, well, congrats, Tyke, on the good stats and on the big win.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Final score of today's contest, the St. Martin Saints get the win over the previously undefeated in conference play Montana State Billings Yellow Jackets. The final score 69-63. Number 3 St. Martin survives to see Saturday where they will take on Seattle Pacific University. Seattle Pacific is coming off a big lopsided victory over Western Oregon University. They're going to be coming in red hot, so don't tune out of St. Martin's basketball just yet. We will see you on Saturday night when, once again, the number 3 team in the nation has a big conference matchup for all of us that make this broadcast possible, including our statisticians, Ibrahim Mustafa and David Cano, our cameraman, Ron Smith, our producer, Sydney Henderson, our cameraman. Well, we have our photo cameraman, that's Ron Smith, and then we have our cameraman that was on your stream, that's Zane Leposki, and of course my color commentator Lauren Morris. We thank you for joining us in today's broadcast. The final score, St. Martin's 69-63. Please have a great rest of your evening and stay safe out there.